And I'm live. Yay. I want my HTV. I want it now, and I want it live. So, how are you guys? Nobody's here. Cool. The pressure's off to talk. I took notes today about things I wanted to bring up. And, hey, hot retarded chicks, I was thinking about you this morning. Thank you for giving me a hand yesterday while I was on that emotional roller coaster, because it's pretty embarrassing when I'm on one of those, because yeah. Anyway, just thank you. And of course, thank you to my meek mom and my meek dad and my sisters out there who have been reaching out to me and talking to me. I love you guys so much. I'm not going to mention all of your names because I'm not sure if I have permission to or not. Anyway, so I named this video Informal Hang to answer questions, discuss MKUltra, and my aim. My aim is not to go after the predators. I'm not going to go after the people who did this to me to turn me into SRA, DID, MKUltra. What my aim is to meet other survivors, because then I know I won't be alone. And also to meet other survivors. Their stories and your stories connect. You have a feeling of camaraderie. And together, all of you give each other a hand to cope with things. And also, I want the survivors of these MKUltra programs I want the victims to turn into survivors. I want us all to be survivors. And of course, the only way to do that is through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He is the only way to get through deprogramming from these things. Even indoctrination, he's the only way to come out of it, if you ask my humbled opinion. But anyway, good morning, Angel. How are you? Rodimus Prime, what's going on? Matthew chapter 18, verse 10. I'll have to read it. So that's my aim, is to be around other survivors, or to be around people like me. I like the term ex-super soldier. I think because all the trauma that we went through as kids, to go through those super soldier programs and projects and underground military bases, as well as above ground government facilities. I just lost my train of thought. I don't know. My aim is to go after the victims and try to help them, but also to bring awareness to other people that these situations are going on. So, I don't know, I've been meeting a lot of MKUltra survivors, and I got to tell you guys, I'm just thankful to meet you. Yesterday, I went through 23,000 emails. I went back like 2.5 years in my inbox. So I cleaned it out, and I'm down to 1,700 that I have to sit down and answer and pay attention to and whatnot. Hey, Jeff, welcome. Sunrise, how are you? Good morning. I'll catch you later today too, love. So I love you guys who are in my chat room. So what was I saying? So I was going through these emails, and I came across one from my attorney, who was my father figure. He passed away November 2018. The last 3 words that he ever wrote to me were, write a book. So I guess I better write that book. I want it to be like a 6-month goal that I accomplish, not like a 2-3 year thing. So I guess instead of having an emotional roller coaster, I can turn my attention to writing that book. Hey, Crystal Lane, how are you? I love you, sweetie. And then I got a notification today, and I want to bring it up. Where is it? Someone on YouTube asked me, how am I now? How do you cope in everyday life without those bad people around you? Or are they still interested or still want you? Or they just let you go because they don't need you anymore because you're not young anymore? Take care of yourself. Well, how am I now? A mess. I have good days and I have bad days. I forgot to take my Benadryl last night. And of course I was up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning. I'm like, why can't I sleep till 8:30? Well, actually, no, 7 o'clock. I like to wake up at 7 to catch a couple morning shows and be a prayer warrior. But how do I cope in everyday life? I have a good support system. Hobbies are important. The best way to cope is with Yeshua. But I fell and I stumbled. And yesterday I was mad and upset because I feel like someone else ruined my life. And not to blame another person, but to really take a look at a situation now that there's time and space between it. Boy, I don't know where those bad people are today. Well, some of them I have an idea where they're located, so I just stay away. I think that they still are interested in me to a degree because I've been told I'm monitored 24/7. No, they don't need me anymore. They have millions of super soldiers. I completed all the projects. I got through them all. So there's not, I don't think, too much more they can really do with me at this point, especially now because I'm covered in the blood of the Lamb. And right there, because I'm saved and baptized to Yeshua, I've been through a freedom deliverance ministry, I've been through a freedom deliverance. And I've gotten ordained. I ordained myself to Yud He Vav He, our heavenly Abba, in Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ of Nazareth's name. I've made my gestures to him, and I've made my covenant to him, and I've really tried to secure him as my foundation in all the ways that I can. I'm a sinner. I'm still struggling with chains that I'm breaking right now. And it's an everyday struggle and battle to try to become whole again and to keep my head above water. So having a strong support system is very important, as well as having a freedom deliverance ministry to be able to reach out to and talk to every so often. But no, I'm not young anymore. I'm 44. So to this lovely person, Jewel, who wrote to me on YouTube, I hope that answers your question. I think they let me go because by me coming forward to be a whistleblower for them in some sort of sick, twisted way, they get to show off what they created and what's going on underneath everybody's noses. And there's nothing you can do to stop them. They've created their own army. I guess they would be like the elite families. Again, I have fragmented memories, so it's hard. But also, again, I'm not going to sit here, and I've done it before, and I've given out names of who I feel have been predators to me in my life. I'm not going to do that anymore. It's not about them. Plus, it puts me in a bad situation. Because if I ever bump into those people, well, the first thing I'm going to do is run the other way. But I'm not here to start a war with them. I'm here to connect with other people, work with victims and turn them into survivors. Help them. Pay attention to them because they've been through hell and back a few times, going through MKUltra or being SRA, which is satanically ritualized and abused. They're fragile, fragile, fragile people. And we have to treat them and myself gently and kindly and patiently. So I'd rather be a part of that movement as my aim versus sitting here and naming predators, which could put me and my life at risk and in danger. There might be other people more suited for that than me. So, yeah, I hope that answers that question. Thank you for reaching out to me. Matt Cat. I got a message from Matt Cat. Matt Cat, you're my friend. I'm worried about you. I hope you feel comfortable around me in my chat room. And it's okay if you don't want to come on the panel. Don't worry about it. I just always ask because, I don't know, you guys might get sick and tired of hearing me talk. Or maybe you want to add something, or maybe you want to come on. So, but please don't feel like I'm ever pressuring you to do so. And I'm really sorry if I made you feel bad, Matt Cat, but I consider you my friend and my brother, and don't leave. I appreciate your camaraderie. So, now, sorry, I'm like looking at my inbox and I'm like so proud of myself. And I got it down to 1,700 out of 23,000. I haven't seen my inbox look that clean in so long. I spent time on it yesterday. I probably spent like 7 hours on it. And some of those messages I'm sure were triggering, which caused the emotional roller coaster I was on. But today's looking out to, I started off good, but I'm probably going to crash today and be miserable at some point. And one of you people in my chat room is going to get stuck talking to me this evening, trying to pull me out of my rut again. But anyway, hey, Cellar Door, how are you? Good morning, sweetheart. I love you, Patricia. I love you, Cellar. I love you, Luke Early. I've been trying to get in touch with you, Luke Early, and just things get so busy and hectic. I'm thinking about you, and it's almost like I'm talking to you, but I'm not because I haven't picked up the phone to call. But hello, Galen. Good morning. How's Lynn doing? Angel, what was I up to yesterday? Yes, I'm trying to catch up online. Hey, Painful. Good morning, sweetheart. I am trying to catch up on all my messages and emails and get back to people who were so kind enough to take their time to write to me. But also I'm trying to get more organized all around in my life and get back to the way I've always lived, which is neat and organized and together and on top of things. And so, Luke Early. So I'm just trying to, like, the next tasks that I have to do. Well, this organization thing is going to continue on. I can tell you that much because I still have a couple more long days to put in of getting organized. But then I want to clean my car. Oh my gosh, my car is so filthy. And the birds have been having a field day with it. Yes, I was trying to accomplish good things, Angel. I really was. I did accomplish a nap yesterday. That I accomplished. Today I hope to do a month's worth of laundry. Okay, Keith, go lay down, honey. So, or at least half of it. Um, so I hope to do laundry today and maybe in a couple of days. I have a lot to do. So, like, I want to get back to the house. I miss being at that house that you guys saw me at. It's beautiful. I love it there. Kiefer, go lay down right now. Go. No more. Go. So I miss being at the house. I love the house. Everything's great at the house. Please, everybody, don't take it like it's bad that I'm at the camper. It's just things arise in life. Little tiny catastrophes that are a huge pain in the ass. And my loved ones down here are breaking their ass to help me out and do things. And I'm really grateful and appreciative for them. And I love the house and everything's okay. But there's a lot going on and I have to catch up. All I know is I have to catch up this week. So, yeah, I'll get it all done. It's been piled up for a long time, but I'll definitely get it all done. Yeah, so today at the laundromat, that's going to stink. I think I'll go this afternoon, like about 2 after Paul Begley. I'll probably nap through him. Well, I'll listen to him and doze in and out for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But I'll be in like prayer and stuff. But tonight's going to be a late night. Hey, Angel, is G having a hang tonight? I hope so. Oh, I just got to chill. I got to get a blanket. Ooh. Made a mess of your food keeper. You know that? You made a mess. Want some water? No? Okay. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. Ooh, I gotta chill. I gotta chill. I gotta chill. He is cool, Angel. I'll probably join. You guys help me battle depression because you get me laughing. And you all are so generous with your compliments. um, and it's a good mindset for me to be in. Painful, I know, the laundromat. I used to have a good time doing laundry. A long, long time ago. Hey, Bethany. Good morning, sweetheart. Welcome. A long time ago, I used to go to my attorney's house and I would do my laundry and then I would stay after and eat dinner. And I used to have a good time going to do laundry because then I'd go and play he had a full drum kit at his house. My attorney was a musician. He played bass, guitar, and he sang. Hey, HH, I saw you. I'm sorry, honey. Please forgive me. I see you. I meant to say hi. I apologize. I get like a bunch of thoughts all at once in my head, and then I only get one out and forget to say all the others. So please forgive me. I didn't mean to be rude to you at all. But, and I don't know. Laundry day turned into a fiasco. I never minded doing laundry. I always kind of like doing my laundry and vacuuming. But I'm kind of particular. Like when I fold my clothes, I like to make sure all the wrinkles are out. That way when I put them on, they're not wrinkly. and they fit nice in the drawer. So I guess I have a couple, I guess I have my ways of doing things, but I don't know. Hopefully the laundromat will be all right. If not, I'll sneak over to the liquor store. No, I'm teasing. I'm kidding. I had attempted a poor joke. Angel's on the other side of the computer having a heart attack going, what did I just hear Holly say? I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So, a glass of wine doing laundry. I don't think ever hurt the laundry. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. So, Angel and I talk a lot about that. Yeah, right. See, there he goes. Holly, don't you dare. So, I have a conscience. It's Angel. uh, I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely working on making my weaknesses into strength. And I do fall. Like I said, some days are good for me. And some days are rotten and bad. And some days I just don't know how to tell you guys how rotten and bad they are. I'm scared to. I'm scared to tell you, hey, I had a rotten day. I bought a pack of butts. I drank a pint. And I feel rotten about myself. And then there's other days, boy, I'm like a go-getter. I'm up and going and accomplishing everything. And I get going, and then all of a sudden, like my sciatica from my lower back down my legs starts hurting. And then I'm floored, and that kind of starts off the bad day cycle. So, and I'm brutally honest about things. The only thing I don't like is when somebody takes my words and throws them back in my face, because I'm already being my own worst enemy. Now people are using my words against me. So now I got two worst enemies. You reminding me of how bad of an enemy I am to myself, if that makes sense. I'm just busting your chops, guys. I'm just busting your chops. You guys in my chat room and people that write to me and people that I talk to online, you guys, I just adore you and love you so much. So please don't ever think that I'm intentionally trying to be rude or confrontational. I'm just so glad that you'll sit here and talk to me and accept me for me and help me pick myself up when I'm drilling myself down into the ground. So I think all of you to me are amazing and truly incredible. And I'm so grateful to be sitting here among all of you. And I just wish that sometimes in the morning when I feel panic and anxiety, that I could take the feeling that I have right now with all of you and the strength and the prayers that we have going on right now and this great feeling that is overcoming me. I wish that I could I wish I could force myself to feel that in the mornings or at night or sporadically through the day when I'm having a bad moment. But I always try to take those negative thought processes and send them to the foot of the cross, and I repent for them, and then I ask Abba to help me think of something good, which I want to focus on him more. I fell away from him, I feel, and I started to put things in front of him instead of my walk with him. And that was the biggest thing I did wrong. It had nothing to do with the relationship. It had nothing to do with cigarettes or alcohol. It had nothing to do with the arguments. It had everything to do with that first and foremost. Holly got distracted and took her eyes off the lamb. That's exactly what happened. And well, I'm just grateful that all of you are helping me, because if I couldn't come here and hang out with you guys, then I've got no place to go. You guys understand everything, you know? You guys understand the Bible. You guys understand the topics I talk about, and we can go back and forth. And you guys are educated and intelligent, smart and funny, and that just helps me. So, hey, Joe Info, I love you. HH, that just means, or like all of us, I have days like that as well. Don't be so hard on yourself. Thank you, HH. Humans versus holders. It's so great to see you again. This is so cool. Thank you so much, humans versus holders. I'm so glad you passed through. I hope you have a beautiful day. And Downs, we must roll with the punches. You can handle this, sweets. Thank you. Thank you. You have a right to be upset. Didn't you get messed with? I'm pale. I'm paler the monarch. Yeah, I did. Yeah, HH, I loved my flowers. Have you planted any flowers this year yet? No, I have not. The house I live, there's already someone there that does the gardening, and I don't want to get in their way, but I'll be honest, HH, I'm taking a break from a garden this year. So I'm not going to start one. Yeah, but having a garden makes me feel good about things too. Humans versus holders says everybody has these moments. Sweet, so don't beat yourself up. It's called life. Much love and peace. I'm hugging you right back. Thank you so much, humans versus holders. You guys are the best part of me. So, yeah, I got a lot of chores to do. So I don't really have a lot of time to have fun. This weekend I was thinking there's actually a couple places I want to go, and I want to be able to take you guys with me. This is what I was thinking. Well, I found like a holder for my cell phone in my car. I think I can run a live YouTube video from my cell phone. I'm not sure. But if I'm driving, I definitely cannot answer the chat room. But there's supposed to be this really beautiful road. And get this, it's 11 miles long. That's my lucky number with Abba. And I want to go down this road. It's supposed to be really beautiful and really scenic. I have a lot of spots where you can pull over and hike and fish and stuff like that all along this road. And I want to take you guys with me for the drive. So it's just really pretty around here. And then I want to go and venture out and take a trip. I want to go to a cavern. So then I was thinking maybe I could take you guys with me to a cavern and shoot the video. But I'm not sure, because if YouTube doesn't work, then I can always take videos and pictures and then come back and share them on the screen here. So that way, while I'm out and about, I can bring you guys with me. So I was going to do that this weekend. It's part of your castle. Right? Be careful filming my area. I can be doxxed that way. Huh. Right? Could you imagine? It's all going to work out. Thank you for saying that. You know how long I've wanted to hear that? It's all going to work out. Everything's going to be okay. And to be reminded of that. So thank you for that reminder. Impaler the Monarch. Impaler the Monarch. Oh, jeez. Holly, you haven't been and always be my lady of YouTube. I am never far away from you, sweet, so don't stress. Oh, thank you, humans versus holders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, boy, thank you, guys. Like, I feel relief come over me. So, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think I can breathe now. I know everything will work out. I know you guys are just around the corner, and I'm going to be okay. And I'm not alone. Seller, being doxxed is when somebody gives up your information where you are. That's why I haven't really filmed where I am or anything like that. But again, like, everything's temporary. So if I get doxxed, I'm bouncing. And then I'm going to make the people who dox me pay for my relocation tab. I needed to start over. I mean, people can reach me on YouTube. I just don't, or through Facebook or my webpage, hollybaglio.com. Like, people don't need to know where I am. They really don't. And right now, I want the time to figure out what I'm doing. So I'm kind of on hiatus right now, collecting myself. May Yud Hey Vav Hey, may our God bless you too, and Baylor the Monarch. Thank you, guys. Hey, good morning, Amos. Welcome. I saw you. This happened with HH. I saw HH come into the room, but I forgot to say hi. And I saw you come in the room, and I forgot to say hi to you too, so I apologize. Please forgive me. I'm not trying to be rude. It's good to see you, Amos. Excuse me. I was watching Anita Fuentes yesterday, but I was bouncing around back and forth, and I didn't get anything done yesterday except the computer. My sciatica hurt, so I figured, okay, well, I'll take a day off, because the day before, I was on my feet all day long. Angel can tell you. So can Michael. I was on my feet all day long. But, oh, can I tell you guys what happened this morning? I'm glad she's here too, Amos. And that's another thing, like, you guys make friends with each other in my chat room. I like when you guys are friends, and you get along. That pleases me. And if you don't get along, just make sure you don't get along in front of me. Fake it if you got to be nice to each other. But no arguing, no doxing, no bullying, no threatening in my chat room. And also, guys, if I can give you a bit of advice, and definitely pass it on, I have learned, I'll tell you what happened this morning in a minute, but you remember this, hot retarded chicks. I learned, guys, that when you run a YouTube video, what is said in your chat room, you are legally responsible for. So me as a hostess, say hypothetically 2 people get into it in my chat room and they threaten each other, I can be held responsible because it's happening in my chat room. Say one of you in my chat room threatens someone in my life. Like, say one of you in my chat room threatens my neighbor. I can be held legally responsible for you making that threat. So I would encourage all of you that when you run videos, or you know someone who is running videos, that you make sure they maintain their chat room. We all have to be responsible. So I understand, though, that all of you are close to me. So when you see something bad happen to me, your first reaction is not always a very happy one. Neither is mine. But, you're moving, Joe Info? No. We hope you have a super great day. Moving sucks. I'll be moving this evening too, again. But that's okay, because at least I'm doing something. If I wasn't going through what we're going through with the houses right now, I wouldn't be doing anything at all. I'd be like stagnant. I'd be wallowing in all the chains that I'm still trying to break and all the things that I'm trying to get right. Yeah, that's why GOE censors you guys. I can see why. Hey, Method, I was thinking of you. I was like, where is he? Where'd he go? Nice chat to come to when you get insomnia. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, definitely. I hope you're having a good morning, Method. Can you get turmeric powder? It may help your nerve hurting in your leg. Impaler, the monarch. Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, I have turmeric with me. So I will remember to take that when I eat next. Sometimes turmeric can make my stomach burn a little, but you're right, it definitely helps with that pain down my legs. I don't take prescription pills anymore. So I found out about turmeric and a couple other things, and they definitely help. Yes, been at it all year, moving down the street. Oh, wow. Oh, Joe, I wish we could help. I wish we could throw you a packing party and that we could all come over and help you pack and then move you. But, oh, have a blessed day, humans versus holders. Love and peace. Oh, thank you so much. I love you. Oh, so anyway, I wish I didn't look like such a bum this morning. I would be on camera, but darn it. I went to the store this morning and I forgot. That's okay, because I gotta go back out. Kava is a root powder that you put with milk. May help as well. Thank you. And stuff, even drinks. It's good to see all of you. Yeah, so today I'll probably get up about 2 o'clock. Make sure I have like 3 hours at the laundromat. I might have to take it in sections though because I have so much stored up. But yeah, so this morning, hey Wanda, how are you? I meant to call you after Paul Begley's yesterday. Please forgive me, Wanda. I'm still trying to catch up. I hope to catch up on my Facebook messages, the private messages with everyone. I have a bunch of them, but I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm getting there, though. You have a beautiful garden, Wanda. I'm not going to start one this summer. Wow. So this morning, I was like, oh boy, I better like call and check my checking account, right? And Seller, you sweetheart. I love you. You made my day. I could never look like a bum. Oh, I don't know about that. But thank you. I'll accept that compliment. So I call it my checking account. Now, I've had a few expenses like getting my car fixed, and there's something coming up soon. So I just had to make purchases, and You're sick of advertising on Paul Begley. I know, I noticed that, right? I'm going to plant sunflowers today, says HH. They have been on my kitchen table. I started them about 2 weeks ago. Nice. We pray they grow big in Yeshua's name. So I called up my checking account, and I had things figured out last week, right? I figured, okay, I can pay all of these expenses, and I should have $400 left over. And that's cutting it really close because I have to get through an entire month right now. Like 4 weeks I have to get through. So I need to make sure I have money in my pocket for those 4 weeks. And yeah, 1, 2, keep or stop, 3, 4 weeks, right? So 400 isn't really that much because I have some things coming up. I kind of need extra money, but I'm cutting it close nonetheless. And last week came, and all of a sudden I was like, oh no. Keep her, stop, honey. Good girl. I thought to myself, oh no. My bank account got drained. And I thought to myself, oh no, what happened to those $400 that was still supposed to be left in my account? And I called up the bank, and there was, this morning I called my checking account. Now, it was on 0 for 2 days. Well, it was on $7 for 2 days. This morning I call up my checking account to make sure of what's going on and whatnot. And all of a sudden, the automated system comes on and says, well, you have $400 and something in your checking account. And I about fell over, guys. I about fell over. Praise be to Yud Hey Vav Hey for Yeshua HaMashiach for providing for me. I thought that I was supposed to have $400 left over. I was budgeting myself because I'm on a fixed income. I'm on full disability. I do not have side jobs. And I was budgeting my money. I had to get my car fixed, which cost $800. I was quoted at a place, and they had quoted me $1,200 to $1,500. The place that I went to get my car fixed at charged me $800. The original bill would have been $1,000, but I told the guy, I said, honestly, I need to make sure I have the money, and I can only pay a certain amount. And they told me, okay, well, $700, $800 on the phone. And when I got there for my front and back rotors and pads for my brakes and an oil change and them to check out the car, it came to over $1,000, but they gave me coupons and stuff, and they brought it down to $800. So my brakes were just changed within the past year, in under 12 months. Impaler, I love apple juice. I always used to drink apple juice after I did Taekwondo. So anyway, the person who did my brakes prior said that they didn't like my driving, so they decided to put on racing rotors and pads on my car to make sure that the car would stop because I drove too fast and I used the brakes too much. What this person failed miserably at was they should not be working on cars. You cannot put racing rotors on an everyday average car. I learned this. If you put racing rotors on your average everyday car, actually, let me start over. Racing rotors are used on racing cars that go around a track. When they're done racing on that track, they are parked in a garage. The rotors are taken off and thrown away at that point. New ones put on. These rotors have holes in them. What are they called? I forget the technical mechanical terminology, but the rotors have holes in them. You cannot put racing rotors on an everyday average car where you're going to need to use your brakes every single day and have them work every single day. Racing rotors are inappropriate on an average everyday car. They don't belong. It's the wrong usage. Racing rotors belong on a racing car, period. Get it? Racing car, racing rotors. They match. So anyway, I got that all fixed up. I'm grateful because I have a warranty on, I have a lifetime warranty on the brake pads and rotors. And then I have a year warranty on the work. And boy, am I so grateful. That's a load of stress off my shoulders, but that was a lot of money. I used my security deposit that I was able to save up from donations to pay to fix my car and get it to where it should be again. They were just cheap parts. My last Corvette had drilled rotors. They lasted years. Really? Daily driver. You buy cheap race parts. Yeah, it's one time throwaway. Thank you, Method. Amos, you should celebrate that you're not in that rut. Yeah, Amos, I'm coming out of the rut. I need to get myself to an eye doctor, dentist, and asthma doctor. But after that, I want to save up money. And I think I can do it, but we'll see. But yeah, I guess one of the purchases that I had made put a hold on my money. And they took this hold off my money. And I got the money back this morning. And I sighed in relief, praised my heavenly Abba, and was grateful for him to provide for me and give me this money back. And I just, wow, what huge levels of stress came off my shoulders. So now I can go to the laundromat. Now I can go to the store. Now I can go get my car cleaned. Now I can do all of these things that I need. And what's coming up in a couple of weeks, I definitely need to have money for. So I don't know if it's going to get me through the rest of the month, but I definitely needed it back. I can make it stretch. But you can drive a daily driver with performance parts that don't break down. Look at Lamborghini and Ferrari. Expensive, but you can drive them every day, and they have parts you mentioned. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I guess the parts that were put on my car were what you said, where you use them once and you throw them away. The cheap parts. You get what you pay for. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody was like, Holly, you paid $800. I could have gotten that job for $400. And it's like, well, if you could have gotten that job paid for, my front and back brakes, for $400, why didn't you get me the appointment with the mechanic then? I figured 800 was a lot better than 12 to 15, but that's what I've been quoted by different mechanics for front and back brakes. Bethany says, I'm on disability too. They only let me have a certain amount at a time. I don't know what I would do with a big bill. Yeah, the big purchases can be hard to swallow. I had to get assistance from others to help me with those large purchases, Bethany. I'll be honest. I had to get help. And I'm really grateful for those people that helped me. But I've been trying to save up donations for when I need them, and I definitely needed them now. And I'm glad I saved them, because that way I had them when I needed them. Instead of leaving myself without anything, or leaving myself without a cushion or without a savings account. I got back in February, I got sick and tired of things, and I just decided that I was going to start worrying about myself, and that's when I started collecting my money and putting it aside. And like I said, I had a lot of help, and I'm really grateful. I couldn't have done it without help, but it just got to a point where I was like, I really need to start socking money away and provide for myself, because if something happens, I'm in trouble. So I started saving up, and thank heavens I did, because I needed it. I would work and still could not pay for HH. Yeah, I had a side job, HH, and it was still very difficult to make ends meet. It was still very difficult. Doctors should be completely free for everybody who is on disability. I fought 8 years, the state of New Jersey, to get my disability. Yeah, rent is outrageous. Rent is what they give you. Okay, per month they give you money, right? HH. Rent costs the same amount that they give you in your check. They don't give you anything extra. It's terrible. Okay, forgive me. Astrid, how are you, sweetheart? Well, I'm tough because you helped me hang in there, and thank you for yesterday. You are a sweetheart. They cost over 1,000 a loader sometimes. Wow. Oh, Patricia, I love you. Have fun with your family. Blessings. The shop was right. Drill rotors are mostly for show if you look at a professional race car. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what kind of rotors they were, but man, they were the wrong kind for my car. And they did fall apart. Like, I got the printout. My brakes were so bad. I'm lucky all 4 of them weren't grinding. It was only the one. I've never had brakes go that fast in my entire life. And I'm not a bad driver either. People just don't like me. My driving's got nothing to do with why they don't like me. They just use my driving as an excuse to not like me. I'm pretty sure your buddy did that last job, just picked and chose flashy looking parts on the internet and threw them on your car not knowing they were crap. I would highly agree with you, Method. I would highly agree. They use solid or slotted rotors. Yeah, I did good. I didn't die. Man. But so, yeah, it was a big relief to get the news um, this morning that my money was put back in my account. So that was a big load off. I was like, woohoo! It took my anxiety and panic away. But it's good. Oh, and chilly. Last night I had to flip the breakers in the camper. The air conditioner went out. I'm like, boy, it's getting hot. I actually woke up from sleeping. If it's too hot, I can't sleep, or too muggy or humid. Anyway, I woke up out of his sleep and I had to flip the breakers. Well, one popped, so I just had to flip it, and the air came back on. I wonder why it does that, though. I don't know, but now I don't want to touch the breaker, or I'm sorry, now I don't want to touch the air conditioner because everything's working fine, and I don't want the breaker to pop, so I just don't want to touch it. I don't want to break it. I don't want something else to go wrong, so I'm just leaving the air conditioner run, but it's definitely cold in here, I'll tell you that much. Very cold, but it's better than humidity. Okay, I'll let Angel and Method talk amongst themselves because I'm out of my league in that conversation. I'll see my way out of this A and B conversation. Hey, Perth, does anyone know how to fix a blue screen? Hey, chat room of mine. Perth is asking, does anyone know how to fix a blue screen? One of you must know. Perth, how are you, sweetheart? I've been watching your videos. I'm not sure if I've jumped in your chat and said hi or not, but I think it was yesterday. I watched you for about 2 hours. You were on for a while. I referred someone to you, Perth, because you talk about the Orville Dam. And one day in my chat room, a conversation, I forget between who, broke out about the Orville Dam. And I was like, you got to watch Perth's channel. She watches that thing like a hawk. I'm like, she keeps her eye on that thing. I'm like, you got to tune into her because she watches all the cameras and everything. So I hope everything's going well for you, Perth. I was thinking about you yesterday, boy, and all the conversations we've had. You're a trip, woman. If I ever get to Australia, I kid you not, we're going out for a ladies' night. I enjoy your company, Perth. I bet you would have fun to go camp. I love camping and fishing and going mushroom hunting. Uh-oh. Are they for magic mushrooms? No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry, I'm teasing. That sounds like fun. HH. I love camping. I love fishing too and hiking and just being outdoors. Absolutely. Yeah. Like when I know that I'm going camping, I become a kid again. I'm like, yeah, I run around all excited. Bert says my computer has been played with. I'm on a phone and haven't a clue what I'm doing. Can anyone help Perth? I wish I could fix a blue screen, but I have got no clue, Perth. I'm sorry. Not the magic ones. I want to learn about all of that stuff, HH. I bought a book. Two more were supposed to come with it, but they didn't send it. But it was one of these books on being in nature and the different plants and different things that you can eat that are all around you. And I really want to learn all of that stuff. I feel at a disadvantage. I feel like I should already know that. You know, like out in nature, next to the poison ivy plant, grows another plant. And that other plant is supposed to get rid of the itching and rash that poison ivy gives you. You slipped out on your swing the other night. I used to do that. I used to have a swing chair, and I would fall asleep under the stars at night. And then I'd wake up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning with, dew or with dew on me when it gets wet in the morning on the grass. I'd wake up cold and yeah. When I had my own place, my next door neighbor, she had 3 kids. Oh, I had a blast with her kids. I would take them and set up the tent out behind the building, and we'd go camping out. I'd bring like the little TV and stuff like that, and we'd hang out in the tent and camp out. I used to have a good time. We used to go camping every single weekend from like Friday to Sunday. We used to have a good time. We'd go to Frisbee golf courses. We'd go to the Delaware River and just have a blast. Go on rope swings, hang out for the day, cook out. It's a lot of fun. Mushrooms can be very healing. Yeah. Nature cure. Poison ivy is a beast. Do you know goats can eat it? Wow. They eat everything, Bethany. They really do. Holly's chat room is going on a field trip. We're all going camping. Yay! I wish. But once you reach a certain price point, you can have parts like that on a daily driver. It's just out of everyone's. Yeah, says Method. You know what? I don't know. I have no clue. I'm just reciting what the mechanic told me, and just I was very perturbed to have to do my brakes twice in a year. Quite perturbed about that because I sat there worrying about my car for 2 years and its performance, and I kept, you know, trying to get it fixed, and I'd save up money. And where I went wrong was I didn't have a certified mechanic who can give me a warranty on parts and labor, do the work. So I put myself at a huge disadvantage right there. So it was my own fault. I knew better. I should have just saved up the money from the get-go to take it to a certified mechanic to have it done. Talk soon. Need to fix this later. Perth, I wish you luck. Nobody has any idea how to fix a blue screen? Help, Perth. Wow. When I was young, my dad had a spot at a lake, and I lived there all summer. Basically, he would leave me when he would go to work. Wow. Check the picture out next time I get another one. You can be navigating. I'll teach you how to do your own brakes. Sounds good, Method. Thank you. I wish. I have thrown a mattress on my upstairs patio and just slept there when the stars are out. And if there's a meteor shower, I love it so much. It's amazing. I'm like that too, cellar door. I'm like that too. I love stargazing, planet gazing. Yeah, the dreaded blue screen of death. Doc Michael Perth needed help to fix that blue screen of hers. She said that her computer was played with and she's having trouble fixing the blue screen, and I don't know anything about that. So it is the best. It's great to see you, Doc Michael. So, um, oh, I heard that my website is not coming up too. I have to like call and figure out why, because I paid the bill. It sucks. Yeah, I think Perth had to go, but she needed help fixing the blue screen, and I was useless. I don't know. But so I think Perth left Doc Michael because she had to fix the screen. If you know what to do, Doc Michael, I can always copy and paste it from this chat room into Skype and send it to her. And say, hey, can you try this or try that? Maybe she'll get it through the message through Skype. But otherwise, I think she left to go fix it. Oh, yeah, coffee. I gotta give up Coca-Cola in the morning. I struggle some mornings. I think coffee would be a good stimulant. It would help me with the chains. I think in the evening it would help me break some of the chains too, because sometimes in the evenings is when I really get struggling, and that's when you guys hear from me the most. But, huh. Huh. You drank a whole pot already, HH? Man, I would sit there and have like 2, 3 cups of coffee. Well, I would wake up and have 2 bottles of water first. And then I would dive into the coffee, have 2, 3 cups of coffee. Then, right before dinner, I guess during Paul Begley's show, I would drink coffee. But then about dinner time, I'd start back into the coffee. There's nothing like coffee and a cigarette sometimes. I hate to say it, but, like I said, I'm still working on breaking chains. Things are getting much better. I feel 50% better. It's been a month and 3 days since I went on hiatus and started turning my life around. And I'd have to say I feel better by 50%. So I definitely look forward to what's going to happen in the second 30 days. I'm really hopeful, and I have faith in Alba that he'll get me back 100%, and everything will be all right. It'll all work out, like Impaler said. Everything will work out. So, yeah, I'm dragging you guys along for my healing process. I hope you don't mind. I know a lot of videos that I ran, I ended up putting on private, but I don't want people downloading them. I don't want people copywriting them. I don't want people using them. It's not even about fair use or being used for educational purposes. It's a personal diary. It's my recovery, and it's stuff that I do in my recovery. So it doesn't always need to be public, but I'm grateful for you guys. You guys aren't public. You're kind of private. I have to remember a lot of other people that watch me. I don't have the pleasure of talking to them as much as I have the pleasure of talking to you guys who are in my chat. And how there's a cure for everything in nature. Do you know why we are not taught that? Because it would put the pharmaceutical industry, ... probably put the pharmaceutical industry to shame. We would be empowering ourselves. We'd be doing it naturally. And yes, Astrid says we'd put them out of business. And we should. The pharmaceutical industry is alchemy and sorcery. Although I will say there are medications from the pharmaceutical industry that we do need. But on a personal note, I feel personally that most of those pills are nuclear waste put in a capsule and then sold to you guys for a high price. I wouldn't take them. Have I eaten breakfast? No, I have not, Angel. I did go to the store this morning. I bought bananas, cheese, salami, and then I bought Hot Pockets. So I'll eat that stuff. And then I don't know what I'll have for dinner. I'll probably grab something when I'm done with the laundromat. Amos, you need to crumble some of your famous cookies on top. 3 meals a day. Yes, I know. 3 meals a day. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So, today's Thursday, and tomorrow starts Memorial Day weekend. What are you guys doing for Memorial Day weekend? Do you guys want to hang out online? So I guess maybe what I'll do is, instead of taking you with me, like on a live YouTube video, maybe what I'll do is like go on my adventures and take videos and pictures. That way I can control what's in them, and then I can come back and show you guys. But I found a Kung Fu place the other day. I'm thinking about calling them up and seeing prices and stuff like that. I probably can't afford it, but I'm still going to call up and find out. But I think that would be great to get back into martial arts for me. It would be great for me to have a discipline, and it would help me. It would just help me. I'd be getting out of the house, but plus I'd be learning a martial art, which would build back my self-confidence, and then my self-esteem would just follow suit. But plus I'd be learning Kung Fu. I've taken Aikido, Hapkido. I've taken Taekwondo, weapons training, tournament sparring before in my life. But I would like to continue on. And it'd be nice to know that if something happened, I know how to defend myself and to not be rusty. And it would just make me feel better all around. So I'm going to go find out how much it costs to take Kung Fu. And then I can come back and be like, and everybody was Kung Fu fighting. Hi-ya. Hey, Aaron Cox, what are you doing? You're still doing yoga, HH? Learn Aikido? Yeah, Aikido's good. You're hanging online for Memorial Day? Cellar door. I will join you. I'll come hang out with you, Cellar door. We'll have a blast. I'll come hang out with you guys. I don't even remember what I did last Memorial Day weekend. I think people came over the house or something like that. But I don't know. I'd rather hang out with you guys. You find people. My son is a blue belt in karate. Really? Wow. I made it up to a purple belt in Taekwondo. I achieved that in 6 months. And that was 3/4 of the way to my black belt. I don't know. I took to martial arts like a duck in water. So I'm going to go back to martial arts. I want to become a black belt in a martial art. Doesn't matter which one. Just one that I like. But I'd probably stick with like Kung Fu or Taekwondo or one of those, and definitely learn weapons training, because you learn about knives, swords, guns, nunchucks. You learn about all that stuff, and I really, really enjoy that. And in this day and age, with this world, I want the odds in my corner if somebody tries to attack me. I want to be able to get away, break free of their hold. So I'm going back to training. I pray that Abba makes this possible for me to go back to training in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. I want to come back to you guys in my chat and say, hey, guess what, guys? I'm a black belt in Kung Fu now. I got to go get my hands and feet printed. I'm now considered a lethal weapon again. That'd be kind of cool, you know, achieving something like that. Jeet Kune Do, Wing Chun, and Kung Fu. Really? Method Marine, cool. Oh, you have to work, HH. I'm sorry. Ooh, I would come eat at your restaurant if I lived near you for Memorial Day weekend. Don't drink a lot of soda. Citric acid makes your body hurt. Kung Fu is good also for reading Qigong. Thank you, Impaler. Wing Chun would be good for you. You can learn the bicycle punch. It's like a chainsaw, punches in rapid succession. Ah, yeah. HH says her son wants to try another MMA, another mixed martial art. Yeah, let him. Let them. Because it's still a discipline, and if they like it, let them go. I fell in love with it. Like, if I took, oh boy, if I missed the martial art class, which I think one or two times I had to miss one, I would sit there staring at the clock going, wow, they're doing this in class, they're doing that in class, and I'm missing it. I used to daydream. I'd sit in AT&T when they'd make me go to conferences, and I would sit there and I would daydream in my head all the moves that a form takes, like taeguk's. They'll have like 18 moves or 20 or 24 moves where you start from one place on the mat and you do your moves, um, your kicks and punches and whatnot, and then you end up back in the same spot that you started. Um, like I would sit and I would go through all those motions in my head and just daydream about it. I used to love it so much. I do here and there, but we are busy all the time, and I work with guys instead of just tell them what to do. Oh, that's cool, HH. I found a big gaping hole in a man's chest. Takes the fight out of him, says Jeff. Yeah, you gotta work. If I find a side job, I'll start working, but under the table. Like I said, I want to save up money. Teaching your kids, make sure he doesn't let them turn into bullies with their new skill. They should stay humble. Yes, Method Marie. My grandmaster kept me humble. He's like, don't show anybody what I teach you. Don't even tell people, you take it. You don't have to. If a fight breaks out and you can run, you run. You get away. You don't want to fight. Fighting is the last thing that you ever want to have happen. You're supposed to run and walk away. And I always do that. I get upset and I walk away. I don't come back till the other person comes and finds me. Because I figure, okay, I'll just walk away until they're ready to be nice. But then I'd get accused of running away. A good sensei taught me how to defend my friends and never hurt another for my own pleasure. Correct. Firearms training. I want to do that too. I want to go to a shooting range, Angel. Karate is their secret. They now bear weapons and they pay. They never use it. They pray they never use it. Yeah. When you take a martial art, that's the first thing you're taught. Honor your country, honor your family, honor yourself, and you don't fight unless you have to. You just don't do it. I always took self-defense. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to get back into it. I had a sword for something hanging on the wall next to me and could see it in your chats. It was awesome looking weapon. Thank you, Cellar Door. I took a lot of heat for that. You want to know a secret? I'll tell you a secret. That was a bat lathe, and it was decorative. It wasn't a real bat lathe. Like if you picked that thing up and you swung it at someone, I'm sure you'd hurt them, but it was never sharpened. All the edges were dull. I was never sharpened into a knife. It was just there for decoration, but it was a bat lathe. I took a lot of heat from the Christian community for having that. What is that ugly thing? And meanwhile, the martial artist in me is like, What do you mean that ugly thing? Somebody walks in this room and you don't know how to fight, but I know how to wield that thing. You'll be grateful to me later. I'll defend you and me with that thing. But no, it was actually a decoration. I have a lot of martial art decorations, or rather, I should say, I had a lot of martial art decorations. Hey, Jeff G, happy Thursday. We're past the hump. Yay! It's all downhill from here. We're sliding straight into a happy holiday weekend. You didn't like karate because it wasn't street fighting, and I didn't see how I could apply as a kid, but it was the fundamentals of training. The Japanese know form and discipline. Yes, Marine. How many females? Honestly, Impaler, when I look at my analytics and statistics on YouTube, honestly, 75 to 85% of my viewers and people that I interact with are females that watch my show, which I think is really cool because I've never had so many girlfriends in my life. And I love them all. They're my sweet, meek sisters in Yeshua's name that Heavenly Abba gave to me. I've never had so many sisters, and I love it. I love it. It's really cool. Like growing up, I was a tomboy, so I always hung out with guys because I was more of a tomboy than I was of like girls putting on makeup and acting all whatever. I was always a tomboy, you know? Useful taking on new martial arts science with karate as your boot camp. Yeah. I'm okay, Jeff G. How are you? Yeah, they do a great job with kids HH. I will never be like Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, or Jet Li. Oh boy. I wish I fought like Bruce Lee. His autobiography was great. I think I read a book about him. And of course, I saw the movie. But Bruce Lee, I would love to be able to fight like them. Oh boy, lots of girls. Girly. Playing baseball instead of playing with dolls. Yeah, that was me. I was coming home with split lips because I held the mitt wrong while catching a baseball, and it, you know. I was coming home with skinned knees, hands cut open from falling and sliding on rocks. Yeah, I was definitely a tomboy. Jeff G says Red Sox Boston win. It's a good one today. Well, congratulations, Jeff G, and congratulations to the Boston Red Sox. Very cool. Human trafficking victims, and I just noticed there are mainly guys in this chat. Well, Seller and Lou and HH and me. Who else do we have here? We're girls. Who else did I see? I'm probably missing someone. Forgive me. Astrid's here. But yeah, when I look up the analytics and statistics of my videos, to be honest with you, it shows that more women watch me than men. And Perth was here. Patricia was here. Bethany, Wanda, Trisha. I think the women might outweigh the men here. I'm not sure. Or it might be 50-50 in my chat, but I try to welcome everyone. Please explain how you two grown beautiful ladies are tomboys and our children today can't decide what gender they are. I was a tomboy, meaning like I was outside riding bikes, riding three-wheelers, going through mud puddles. You know, I had a lot of male cousins, so I'd be running around with them out in the woods, playing, building tree forts and stuff like that. I was just always outside playing. I was never inside putting on makeup and stuff. I really didn't like wearing dresses too much. I looked good in them, but I didn't like wearing them. I was just like rough, you know. I'd ride my bike around. I wasn't too much into dolls and whatnot. I'd go climbing up trees, and I had jungle gyms. So I was always physically running around outside. So I wasn't inside like a girl too much. So I was kind of like, in a sense, a tomboy. Always wearing baggy clothes, no makeup, my hair brushed but not styled, you know. And now I'm still a tomboy. like, but my gender is definitely female. I want to be a female. I'm happy with God, with what God gave me and made me. And even if I wasn't happy, I'd just cope with it. But thank you, Method Marine. Doing cannonballs in the swimming pool, yes. Flips in the swimming pool. Well, see, I used to bake with my grandmother. She taught me how to sew and stuff like that. So I was well-rounded as a child, but sons are supposed to do that. They're supposed to bake with their moms so they can surprise their wives every once in a while by cooking and baking a cake. Why can't kids today just be kids? It's like they don't even have an opportunity for puberty to even work for them. I agree. I agree with you, Method. Kids today, they should just worry about being kids, but they're not. They're handed a cell phone, and well, that's just the end of it. But kids don't do this now. Parents get in trouble now for letting kids run streets like we used to. Yeah. Celador says, I hang out with boys and always played sports with them, but it wasn't because I wanted to be a boy. I just got along better with them. That was like me too in Celador. I just got along with the boys better than the girls. The girls were like worried about who's popular and who looked like what and who did this and who did that. And meanwhile, guys just want to go out, play sports, have a good time, laugh, and be active. And I enjoyed that as well. Rollerblading and skiing and skateboarding and longboarding, all of that. I just read your comment, Angel. Yeah, Method says, there you go, exactly. Even if a girl did, she would grow out of it like an invisible friend, but today it's totally backwards. Yes, Seller, we agree. Impaler says, I think the food was better, not as much soy and poison. It is affecting people bad, changing them fast. Yeah, it is. So, can you hear my dog snoring? She's laying right next to me. When she's snoring. Aw. You had dated a tomboy before and you were thinking about marriage, says Amos. The sheep are turning into lizards from the inside out. I'd agree. Yeah, the sheeple are hatching into lizards. They better be careful. They don't want to turn into the very things that are leading them. Oh, I don't know if you guys follow Coach Dave Daubenmire. How many viewers do I have in my chat room? 15. Coach Dave Daubenmire. He, you know what? I'm going to drop this in my chat room. No, wait. Done. Remove. All right. I'm going to put this on Facebook, but now I'm going to drop it in my chat room, guys. I would like you, on a personal level, you don't have to tell me. Where is it? I'll get it off of Facebook. But I'm going to drop a link in the chat room. And I'm going to ask you guys to, on your own, please consider signing the petition. And if you're in the area, maybe you can attend. I know I would love to. If I was in the area, though, I'm not sure I could attend. But this is Coach Dave Daubenmire. He put this up. It's called the Equal Justice Tour, Sunday, May 26th at 2 p.m. Meet in Chappaqua. On this website, there is a section at the top of the screen where you can hit petition. I'd like you to read through the website. And I would like you on your own. You don't have to tell me, so there's no pressure. It's like voting, but I just want to bring it to your attention. Please sign the petition if you want. Basically, it's about, okay, for instance, Hillary Clinton. And before I get to that, Maureen says some tomboy girls were the most beautiful in high school, always in shape, didn't whine, and knew how to take a joke. Nothing's wrong with a woman muddy on Saturday morning only to dress up for a fancy dinner that evening, says Angel. Tomboys have a lot of fun and adventures. Say la, Lou girly. Yes, we do. Outdoor people keep active and healthy. Don't worry about scratches and bruises along the way. I'm always coming back with scratches and bruises, and people are like, how'd you get that? I'm like, I don't know. It didn't really hurt. If I'm not complaining about it, why should you? Maureen says the devil is very clever. We are fools as humans to think we can outsmart him or that he doesn't exist. Thank God for Jesus. Selah. Tomboys aren't afraid of anything. That's what I like about them. Scratches and bruises are a tomboy's accessory, says Bethany. Selah to that, sister. All right, so let me get back to this website thing. So there's a petition. There's a prayer wall. But basically, you know how Coach Dave goes? Well, he went once and he stood out front of Hillary Rodham Clinton's home, basically saying, bring her to justice. Well, this petition for equal justice is basically saying that Hillary Clinton should not be treated any different than you or I. And just because she's had a lot of money and she is in a position of power does not mean that she should escape being brought to justice for all of her wrongdoing. If you and I, meaning my chat room and I, did something wrong, our asses would be dragged into court, thrown in jail, God knows what. If we did anything wrong like Hillary Clinton has done wrong, we'd probably be shot on sight, realistically. However, this woman seems to have a ton of money and a ton of power. And what Coach Dave Daubenmire and many other people, Oath Keepers as well, are doing is they're banding together to say, listen, just because this woman has a lot of money and power does not mean that she should escape being brought to justice for her crimes. Having a criminal mind and being a criminal is the same exact thing. It's just a different way of wording it. So I just wanted to drop this in my chat because I really appreciate Coach Dave's efforts and what they're about to do. I pray for them coming up, that their trip is safe and sound, that they get there safe and sound, they come home safe and sound. I pray that Abba sends warring angels around these people so that when they do attend this event and when they do sign the petition, that warring angels help us to fight back the dark ones in Yeshua's name, and that the warring angels protect us in Yeshua's name, and that we all work together to advance the kingdom of heaven in Yeshua's name. A lot of people are like, oh my goodness, Holly, I can't believe you say what you say. But I have to say it. Somebody's got to say it. I met one of Hillary Clinton's victims. It just so happens that person is a survivor to this day. Praise be to Yud-He Vav-He for Yeshua. Praise be to God for Jesus. But I met somebody that was victimized by this woman, and it pains me to see what my friend is and has gone through, and to hear the stories of what she went through at the hands of Hillary Clinton. For me personally, you're not going to find me at this event, but you will find me talking to people that are trying to recover from any abuse at the hands of someone in power that's wealthy. You'll see me talking to them because I want to help those people and go after them. But while I go after them, but become friends with them and heal along with them and find other victims and try to add quality back into our lives since our lives were stolen. But people like Coach Dave, he'll go right up to Hillary Clinton and speak his mind and articulate himself beautifully and really get his point across. I don't have that gift, or it has not come to me yet. But Coach Dave, I pray for him and everyone that's riding along with him for this event, as well as who's signing the petition. I think it's wonderful. Coach Dave can go after the predators. I'll hang out with the victims and we'll all become survivors together. So I guess we all carry a piece of the puzzle, and I hope that you guys don't mind that I talked about the subject for a little bit, but it's on my mind, and thank you for letting me share it with you guys. So now it's my chat room doing. Doc Michaels says, you find the people that match for you when you join groups doing the things you love. Yes, Doc Michael, we're all like-minded. Method Marine, is Coach Dave doing OM now? What does that mean? OM. Coach Dave's heart is fine. He's back up and running. He's fine. By the way, he had to go to the hospital, I think, this weekend, so I've been keeping an eye on him. I was worried, but he's A-okay. His heart's fine. His arteries are fine. I'm sure God is going to cure and heal Coach Dave in Jesus' name every chance he gets, because Coach Dave is definitely a pillar, and I admire Coach Dave's strengths. And I hope my weaknesses turn into strengths like his. So it's nice that, I want to be just like Jesus, but I'm glad that Jesus has people down here on the earth so that I can watch them and say, okay, this is, the right avenue to go down. And these are the things that I need to learn and groom and refine myself on. So just thank you guys for your time. I fell asleep 2 hours before Coach Dave's program came on. Yeah. What's the Jussie Smollett syndrome? when the last call out happened, rainy day, and nobody showed up. Really, Doc Michael? The infirmity of appreciating the company of other sex, unlike girls with their heads in their iPhones. I know, right? Holly, can you prosecute her? She has CIA and FBI blackmailed, and some, like Judge Melanie DeBiason's kid, human trafficked, so that will take military. You saw the December 21st, 2017 executive order, right? You know what, Impaler? I have to refresh my mind. I have to say the year 2018 and the beginning of this year has been so rough. I started crashing and burning in 2017. So by December 21st, I already fell in the belly of the whale by that time. So I need to go back and refresh myself. That's my fault. That's where I went wrong in my personal life, because I wasn't paying attention to my calling. I was paying attention to everything else and getting caught up in those situations. But I'm going to have to go back through that. I don't know that anybody can prosecute Hillary Clinton. She's too dug in, right? So is Barry. Otherwise, it would have been done by now, I would think. I don't know. De La Seller. Oh, Judge Tobiason. I'm sorry, Impaler. Hillary has Jesse Smollett syndrome. Can be a lefty, cry a lot, be a lying thief, love LGBT or LGBTQT community. Wait, LGBTQT? What's Q mean? And didn't they just add a P to that? I'm not trying to be rude to them. I'm really not. But listen, we're all sinners. We all fall short of the glory of God. I'm not going to judge anyone for their sins, as I don't want anybody to judge me for mine and the chains I'm still breaking. So when it comes to all of that, I just hope that, we all turn from our wicked ways. But I would just hope that nobody becomes a part of that community. I would rather see them turn to Jesus's community and try to turn from their wicked ways, or just, I would rather see people turn to Jesus, to his community. I'm really concerned about the LGBT community, because I think that they can be exploited, and I think that they are, and rumors are starting about that community. And there's some people out there, and I'm sorry to say, they are gay or lesbian, and they're beautiful people. I wouldn't want to see I just wouldn't want them to see mixed up in organizations like that. I'm sorry. I just don't like it. Did I ever tell you a story about my cousin? I'm going to tell you a story about my cousin. And maybe this can explain to you why I feel the way I do about LGBT, and why I have the opinion that I have. Did you know they figured scientifically that Jonah could have been swallowed by a whale or by a fish? It may have been a whale shark, which is not a whale, but a fish. Wow. Sharks are not mammals, but fish. Thus, Jonah was swallowed by a fish for real, in my opinion. Wow, method, that's pretty cool. Impaler says they have to sort out and protect whistleblowers like that Las Vegas Judge Tobiason and her daughter. Oh, I'm going to have to go back and refresh myself. What was that? 12/21/17 executive order. I got to write this down. Forgive me. maybe today when I'm at the laundromat, I can look this up and educate myself, re-educate, whatever. But so I had a cousin, and any of my other family members hear me tell the story, I'm sure they're gonna excuse the terminology, but shit a brick. But I'm gonna tell it anyway because this is my life. I had a first cousin, and I loved him and his son and daughter dearly. They are still to this day, and they always were my favorites in the family. If I went on vacation, my grandmother would bring my first cousin's son, or they would bring my first cousin's daughter, which would be my second cousin's, obviously. They would bring one of the girl or boy with me on vacation, so I would have someone to play with because we were near the same ages, and we would go to amusement parks. So one year they'd bring, the son, and then the next year they'd bring the daughter, and they were my second cousins, and we would have a blast. And I would have someone to go on the rides with because I was an only child for the first 11 years of my life. After that, my biological mother had gotten remarried and had my half sister. I don't have a relationship with them though. So anyway, my first cousin was married and he had had children. And I was a young child, about 5 years old. And I kind of had this funny feeling that something was a little bit different about my cousin. And I'm not saying that in a bad manner, but I just noticed that something was different. And I knew it wasn't, it wasn't right. So anyway, my cousin had divorced his wife, and several years later, he came to my grandmother's house. Hey, good morning, Megan. I love you. Give my love to Casey. I'll get back to my chat room in a little bit if you don't mind. So my cousin had gotten divorced, and several years later, my grandmother, she was really cool, but she was definitely set in her ways. Oh boy. She was born in 1922 as a farmer. Oh, I love you, Megan. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. So my grandmother was, talk about old-fashioned and set in her ways. You had to be delicate because you didn't know if whatever topic you brought up to her, she'd say, listen, I'm not going to throw you on the streets, but you got to leave. Or if she would, be accepting. But my cousin came to her and said, not into texting. I know things, but people are rude online. Impaler, I'm so glad you reached out to me. If you ever want to say, hey, Holly, research this or research that, please reach out to me. I do have a website. I'll get it back up and running, but it's hollybaglio.com. And if you email me there, I'll come back and I'll email you with my information so it can be private and offline. But I will look back into these things, and thank you for challenging me, and thank you for encouraging me to get back in the swing of things, because I really want to help out in any possible way I can. Even though I'm limited with sources and resources, I still want to help somehow, some way. And may Abba open those doors. All right, so back to my story. My cousin came to my grandmother and said, listen, Aunt Millie, he goes, I'm gay. And Anthony is my lover. And Anthony's been here a couple times. When I came to visit, he came with me, but he's actually my lover, not my friend. And my grandmother, she started actually crying. She goes, what I think about all of that? And my cousin said, yeah. And she's like, you know, I raised you for a couple of years of your life. And she goes, I've known that about you your whole life. She goes, I just love you. I don't think it's right that you're gay, but I love you, and you and Anthony are always welcome in this house. Just please respect me and how I feel about it, because my grandmother was safe to Jesus, but she loved them. She loved them the best that she could. And again, they were not only my favorites, my grandmother adored them. Everybody in the family adored my cousin. And we just accepted them. Everybody needs a home and everybody needs to be loved. And I'll tell you what, I miss my first cousin really dearly. I haven't talked about him in a long time. But his death had profoundly impacted me because he died of AIDS. He had contracted the HIV virus, and on a trip from New Jersey back home to where he lived at the time, he came down with pneumonia and he died. So I don't hate anyone. Being really concerned for people, oh, you bet your bottom dollar I worry about people and I love them and I care about them, and I won't turn them away because I don't want to be turned away. And I don't think that people are disposable, so we should have patience for everyone. We're not judge and jury. God is judge and jury. So, my cousin was never a part of any communities. And, oh, guys, Meth and Marine Cellar Door, don't feel bad, Lou Girly. But I wanted to tell you guys a story because I don't ever want to come across as like an LGBT community hater. The whole idea of the thing, like my grandmother, I kind of feel like it's wrong, guys. But you know, I have friends of all backgrounds, and I don't want to hate them. I want them to stay in my life. I'm a sinner, so I just worry, guys, because I see the climate that we live in, and I don't want anybody hurting each other because it would break my heart. And I don't know if I could deal with another broken heart at this moment. Oh, well, I love you and Casey. I just adore you guys, Megan. I think you guys are the bee's knees. I love your personalities. I love how you're my friends and that you accept me. And you're so kind to me. And you know about my background, and you and Casey still accept me. I'm humbled, Megan. You know, I'm grateful. Oh, thank you, Impaler. It's okay. May God bless my cousin's soul. I think that Jesus did bless my cousin's soul. I always thought that he went to heaven, to be honest with you, and I always thought that my grandparents went to heaven. But there's some other people in my family current day that honestly I'm scared to death because I don't think they're going to heaven. And that scares the bejesus out of me. I get more mad at that than I do anything else. Like, there's someone in my family that when they terminated our relationship, our family ties and bonds, when that was terminated, they told me that Jesus is going to fry in a vat of boiling oil because he lied about being our Savior. And I thought to myself, oh boy, what God's been showing me is true. And what you're saying, you just confirmed what he showed me about you. I'm mad at that. I don't want you to not be welcomed into the gates of heaven. That stuff gets me mad, you know, because I can't do anything to change someone's mind. I can't force them to get saved. I can't fill up a bathtub, trip them, and throw them in the bathtub and force baptize them, and I'd like to, but that gets me the most mad, because Jesus isn't a liar. May he make liars out of all of us, but Jesus is not a liar. If you saw the last few decades of programming dancing in the streets in San Francisco, Sodom and Gomorrah decadence, you would be shaking your head every day, says Doc Michael. Well, same, this story hits home. We are all sinners. This makes us human. We all have our own ups and downs, says HH. We do. We do. But I just don't ever want to come across the wrong way, because I know I put up posts online, and I'm sure you guys will hear my frustrations. But I don't hate anybody. I think that all lives matter. I think the problem is we've made everything dispensable. Animals are dispensable. People are dispensable. If you're sick, well, let's take you off life support, stop feeding you, even if you are conscious, you're dispensable. You know, this world is turning into something I hate. So can you excuse me for 1 second, guys? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Can I tell you something else about my grandmother? Like I said, she was born in 1922, so you talk about old school and everything else. She was the epitome of it. Well, when it came to the end of her life, I'll tell you what, she was no longer biased or prejudiced. But it took all of my life with her to get her to realize that being prejudiced and racist is wrong. But she was raised in a day and age where blacks and whites were separated. And she was a farmer out in the back country, so to speak. And she was taught, you know, there was a difference between whites and blacks. And not to be a simpleton, but to really expose stuff and talk about stuff openly. My grandmother, I love her. I love this woman. I love her so much. If anybody ever said a bad word about her to this day, I'd knock their block off. But given the climate that she grew up in, you know, there was a difference between whites and blacks. And she thought that for a long time, whites came from Jesus and black people came from apes. That's what was taught to my grandmother. She was taught that. Can you imagine? We drove down this road one day. I was in my early 20s. I about fell over. Oh my goodness. I was so embarrassed and I felt so wretched and horrible. But this woman, we were driving down the road and there were construction workers on the road, and she's like, "Look at that guy." And she called him a name. And I was like, "Graham, knock that off. He just heard you." And I looked at this guy and I just put my head down and I was like, "I'm sorry." And I still waved to him, and I felt so bad. I was like, Graham, you actually think that black people came from apes, and you actually think that white people came from Jesus? Are you kidding me? I'm like, that's like, I can't even say it. I won't say it. I was like, Graham, you can't. That's not true. I'm like, you can't really feel like that. And she explained it all to me. I'm like, well, Graham, we're going to have to kill this racism and prejudice that you've been taught, because it's not true at all. So then through the years of me living, I have friends of all colors, races, ethnic groups, backgrounds, this, that, the other thing. And some people I'd bring to the house, and it would be a culture shock for her. And sometimes I would just come home with pictures of all my friends, and she'd be like, Holly, you're friends with all these people? Look at them. They're big and black. They tower over you. You're not scared? Or, oh my God, look at that one. And I'd be like, Graham, no, why? Are you kidding me? We're all people. Every person, every human being, no matter of your race, color, creed, all of that, we all come from Jesus. We've all been created in his image. But kid you not, guys, by the time she died, her and I got into some deep conversations. But once she was diagnosed with emphysema, she lived 4 years after that. But around the time that she was diagnosed, she had said, she goes, Holly, I would have never thought in a million years that I would ever get past being prejudiced and racist. She goes, the one thing you taught me is that everybody comes from Jesus, and I know that now. She goes, but that's just what I was taught. And she goes, Holly, I'm sorry. So before she died, she knew that all of us come from Jesus. And I'm proud of that, because that took her a lot, because of what was instilled in her in school. Not to be a jerk, but that was my grandmother's life. Thanks, Amos. Your mom's friend was taken off of life support yesterday afternoon. The only update last night was she has minimal oxygen. Oh, Doc Michael, we lift your friend's mother up to heavenly Abba. May he comfort her and provide for her. We pray for your friend's mother's friends and all of her loved ones. In Yeshua's name, Selah. Hey, Casey, sweetie pie, I love you. Oh, I love you guys, Megan. Oh, I love you, Casey. I adore you guys, and that's that. That's that. My mind's made up. I think you guys are great. I really, really do. Just because I might disagree with others' choices doesn't mean I should judge. That's just not me. I don't like being judged. Me neither, Seller. I don't like being judged either. Thank you, Impaler, for allowing me to vent. I know I'm not the only one that goes through these situations, but I'm really honored to have you guys to hold my hand while I go through them or remember them. Astrid says, I love this real vulnerable Holly. Oh boy, you want vulnerability? I'm the epitome of it right now, I'll be honest. Expressing that you care, and that is why you get angry, and will move more people to listen. You're allergic to pink eyes. Thank you, Cellar Door. Oh, you guys are awesome. I love you guys. Thank you. But really, it's important to me that I don't come across to you guys in the wrong way, because I know I have my days, and I lift you and your mom and Megan up to heavenly Abba, Casey. I pray, I cast down your mom's anger in Yeshua's name. I pray against the bitterness that she harbors in Yeshua's name. I pray that the Holy Spirit fills your mom and puts peace and love and joy in your mother's heart, and that he fills her life with quality and things that she loves. And through that, love can just shine through her. and she can also have quality of life back. So we pray for Casey and Megan, and we pray for her mom's anger. And P.S. Heavenly Abba, I pray for my anger issues too. I know I have them. In Yeshua's name we pray. Selah. Astrid says she listens to her intuition. Listening to teachings and not your inner knowing is why people accept these types of beliefs. Yeah. Oh. But you guys have been through a lot too. Everybody in my chat room, things that you've experienced. You know, we're the same. We're the same. Well, thank you, Casey. Today is Thursday. Huh. Huh. I woke up hungry, but I had to go to the food store first, and now I got over hungry, so I'm not ready to eat yet. My mom is still alive. Keep praying. Thanks for your prayers. Praise Yud Hey Vav Hey. Aw. Just go in your prayer closet, Holly, and cry God a river. He understands you more and more each day. I'm just saying. Yes, Amos, I've been crying him a river. And he's just been sitting there watching me. I keep saying, Abba, are you here? And I keep just sitting him in my prayer. In my prayers, I just have this vision of him sitting there watching me. He's here, but right after you finished your prayer for her mother, she sent this update that I just quoted. Oh, we're praying for your mom. I believe in prayers. I believe in miracles. And I know where two or more are gathered in Jesus' name. Jesus is there with us too, and it is done in his name. And we have the faith that's strong enough to know that it's done. And we won't let Satan get a foothold in there to steal away our prayers from coming true. Thank you, Salvador. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I do wear my heart on my sleeve, don't I? I didn't mean to cry a couple times today. But thank you guys for not running away from me when I did cry. That is awesome. Well, all of us here are walking miracles. Not to bring up anything controversial, but the one thing I did get out of Trey Smith's videos is he talks about creation. And I believe in one of his videos about the creation of the world, he says, we're walking miracles. And he starts doing calculations and figuring things out. And he's like, by all means, we should not be here. And the fact that we are here proves that all of us have a creator. And just the way he explained it was so awesome, because on a personal level for me, I felt special. And then through that, I was able to feel that Abba, our creator, our God, the Father of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, I felt like he was attainable. I felt that he was reachable and approachable. Because if he went through all of this trouble to make you and me a walking miracle, then thank you, Doc Michael. That's exactly who I'm talking about. You know, if he went through all this trouble to make you and I a walking miracle, well, then obviously he wants a relationship with us, for better or worse. And why doubt that? And yes, you guys, never allow anybody to come between you and your Creator, in Jesus' name. We all know that to come before our Creator, we must get saved through Jesus and accept Him as our Savior for dying for our sins, resurrecting and ascending to heaven. And then once we're saved, we can approach Abba and our prayers go to the throne room. Amos, yeah, no more bed bugs, no more. We're going through that process right now. So, it's okay. I think that's just Satan trying to get a foothold there in my life, sending those things my way. But I have faith that Abba is going to protect me and keep me invisible to my enemies, including pestilence. So it's just Satan trying to get a foothold, and he's not going to get one. I close demon doors in Yeshua's name. No demons may jump or be conjured in Yeshua's name. I cast all demons out in Yeshua's name. I repent for my sins in Yeshua's name. Ekbalo in Yeshua's name. I ask that Abba put my full armor on and cover me in the blood of the Lamb in Yeshua's name. And what I pray for myself, I pray for my brothers and sisters and all my loved ones. Selah. In your opinion, Trey seemed to change on his trip to Israel or soon afterwards. Yeah, I'm sure I change. So if I'm changing and he's changing, I can talk about it. Yeah, something happened. Something happened with him. I don't know. In one of his videos, I heard him say something like, God has someone out there for me. And I thought him and his girl were going to get married. So I know I was pestering him to get married to her. But I don't know. When I saw that video, he seemed to say a couple personal comments, and I was like, wow, he's going through something that he's not talking about, but I can just see by what he said and how he said it, there's something going on. But, yeah, I pray for Trey. You're a crier, Celador. Me too. When I'm upset, happy, sad, even angry, I think crying is beautiful. It's like the rain. I feel cleansed afterwards. Me too, Celador. You lost track of him, Doc Michael? Yeah, I bother him every once in a while on Facebook. And I don't mean to bother Trey Smith, but I'll tell you what, his ministry, when I woke up back in December 2014, and even a few months prior, I'd say from September 2014 when I first found Trey Smith online, and he was talking about near-death experiences. I reached out to him, and I thought I sent him an email, but I sent it to a place that that no longer exists. He doesn't pay attention to Google Plus, I think. But I asked him about my near-death experience, but I found him. What was I going to say? When I fell apart from MKUltra, I found him about September 2014. December 2014, Abba basically came to me and said, Holly, we got to get a few more things right in your life. And you better hang on, because I'm going to make every light switch in your brain go off. You're going to have a flood of memories, and there's something else you have to deal with. And what you have to deal with is what happened to you in DUMBs, deep underground military bases. And we're going to do this. So I couldn't speak for 9 months. My attorney was a big pillar in my life and support group, so being without him is devastating to me right now. But Trey Smith's videos really helped me. I gotta say, they definitely helped me. They rebuilt my mind. Waking up from that MKUltra and having the flood of memories, and then having a ministry to explain things to you like Trey Smith explains things, and then to be able to open up your Holy Bible and say, oh, yeah, my ministry taught me this, and here's the story, and I can read it myself. Meanwhile, your fragmented brain and all your broken pieces and altars are all over the place and haywire. At least when you have somebody that leads you to Jesus, you cling on to Jesus. And me, I asked Heavenly Abba to help me love Jesus and understand Jesus and to love him and to fill my heart and to make sure, it's not only my choice, but I want to feel a love for him. It was nice to have Trey's videos. It really was, because for months there, I felt like a kid trying to walk and eat again. When you cry, you don't know what to do, Amos. I can't admit it, but when my heart is wrenched, I do cry. Oh boy, Dog Michael, I'll be honest. I just cry. I curl into a knot and I wail away. I'll start pacing too. Astrid says, I believe that this seemingly lonely time you are going through is happening to teach you to trust and love yourself and become independent. Also, you are never alone. Thank you. I cry for beautiful things more than I cry for anguish, says Doc Michael. Thank you, Astrid. Bethany says, did you remember anything from the DUMS before that turning point in 2014? Yes, Bethany. Honestly, I did. I started going to a Baptist church when I was 18 years old. And I told them, listen, I have these reoccurring dreams about kids being electrocuted, as well as myself in a cage. And also, my dreams come true. And they seem to match the Holy Bible. And the church and congregants told me it was all in my head when it came to the kids in a cage. It's just a nightmare. Don't pay any mind to it. And then they proceeded to tell me that my dreams coming true was devil divination. So at that point, I just kind of went back to sleep as an ex-super soldier. Nobody was listening. But yes, I have remembered the kids in the cage. Only a couple of them. I can't give their names. It would be rude of me. But there were a couple of kids from the DUMS that I remembered through my whole life, but I could never explain it. All I knew is that everybody told me it was all in my head. It's all in my head. It's just a bad dream. There's something wrong with you, Holly. Go take a pill. And meanwhile, there's nothing wrong with me. I shouldn't take a pill. There's something wrong with you guys for not listening to me. Meanwhile, there's kids locked in a cage in a deep underground military base, still being electrocuted by mad Nazi scientist masterminds. But yeah, I remember. I tried to come forward, but it didn't work. People, I'm 44, and at that time when I was 18, they were ill-equipped, ill-prepared, undereducated, and not spiritually ready to handle me. It's better that I woke up now, because now there's communities of people that talk about these things, so I'm not alone. But back when I was 18, I wasn't really feeling up to being a pioneer to try to research this stuff, because I didn't know where to even begin or how to explain it. What happened was between around the pivotal point was December 2014. So the few months leading up to it, and then definitely the years after that, what happened was online, I feel that Heavenly Abba was guiding me to ministries that I needed. He guided me to Rest His Star. But the other thing is that Abba guided me to other whistleblowers that talked about super soldier programs. And when I started looking into these super soldier programs, I started recognizing people as being the same kids that I remember. And then I remembered when I was 18, they were the same people that I was locked in a cage with and electrocuted. And there they are on YouTube doing videos. And that's when I realized, oh my, wow. Everybody when I was 18 years old telling me that it's all in my head basically had their heads up. Well, basically had their heads in the sand. And what I was saying was true, because this is not in my head. These people are not in my head. They're on YouTube, and they've been whistleblowers now for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And I'm recognizing them, and some of them are recognizing me back. I fell to pieces. I really fell to pieces, because you think about it, from the age of 18 to the age of 40 was when I woke up, even though I'm 44 now. I forgot what I was going to say. It really, it kind of, I could have gotten out of that life when I was 18 years old. And it took me until I was 40 to be around people and ministries that actually understand all of that. Yes, Amos, I do have a journal. I have all my journal printout entry, or all of my journal entries saved. Like, my book is pretty much already written, to be honest with you. If I could get all those posts and just put them together, but with your life stories, I hope I can lead people to Yeshua to get saved. But yeah, I'm going to write the book. Those are the last 3 words my attorney typed to me. I found a note when I was cleaning out his office, and on his note it said, "Tell Holly not to be so personal on YouTube." And I can appreciate that, because I need a filter on my mouth. But yeah, I want to write the book. I have a writing gift. Thank you, Lou. Thank you. Yes, I'm a writer. There were a couple people in my life that I was like, wow, can I be your ghostwriter? And 2 people said yes. Actually, 3 people said yes, and I wrote them up. I don't have it anymore, but I wrote up like articles or papers, and I gave it to them, and I'm like, okay, I'm your ghostwriter. Here you go. Publish it under your name. Just to write. A lot of people recognize me that I don't recognize over the past 3 decades. Yes, Doc Michael. It's frustrating when they say I can't tell you about certain questions. I hate when they do that to me, Doc Michael. I asked one person, I was like, she goes, I know your clone over here in the UK. I was like, so introduce me to my clone. And I started asking questions. And she was like, I can't do that. I can't do that. And then she's like, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. And I'm like, okay, well, just then why bring it up? Curiosity killed the cat. I'm glad you're back, Method. Like, why can't you tell me? I got the same thing from a couple others. I'm not going to get into it, Doc Michael. But yeah, I got that too. I can't tell you. Or if you want me to tell you, you have to pass this message I sent on to another super soldier. And then I'll tell you. Yeah, Doc Michael, I'm not. I know something happened to me. I'm good enough with that. And the fact that other super soldiers recognize me, I know that the fragmented memories I have really did happen. So I've been vindicated, and I can rest assured that this isn't in my head. Plus, some of those kids that I remember, they remember me back. I remember them. Now I just need to go through the process of getting past it. But it's hard because, you see these kids and you guys survived, and it's a bittersweet reunion almost. And most of us don't get along anymore with each other, so. Oh, I got the eyes of a tiger and the heart of a lion. Oh, thank you, Amos. The bad guys locked someone I loved in a basement. She was too scared to tell me. The town did. Oh my goodness, Impaler. I like the ID cellar door. I took notice of that myself. Your mother sent you to MKUltra when you were 3.5 years old. Doc Michael, I cannot imagine. And if I found that out, if that's whatever happened to me, see, I always thought that I was tracked through my grandfather who was in the Navy and he was put through human experimentation projects just like myself. But if I ever found out my biological mother sent me to MKUltra programming, I would show up on her front door and I would just ask for Abba to guide me through that process in Yeshua's name. And your dad took you to all the military bases in the same era. My biological father wasn't around. My biological mother wouldn't allow it. She kept me from him. Um, I would have to have a very big, deep, long discussion with my biological mother if I ever found out she sold me into that. Doc Michael, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry about your parents. Yeah, my biological mother would have an issue if that were the case. I'd be the issue. I'd be like, woman, you're going to talk, you're going to talk fast, and you're going to talk right now. And if you're lying to me, may Abba allow me to use my spiritual gifts to see right through it. I can't imagine, Doc Michael. I really can't. You have a very powerful testimony. Yeah, my biological mother's done up on fentanyl, so you're talking to fentanyl, not her. You're not going to get any truth out of her. She probably doesn't even remember what happened yesterday. And then you add vodka on top of it. Take a couple Xanax, a couple Ambien, and that would be her. I don't know. I think that my biological mother had to give her rights of me away. I know my grandparents were the ones that raised me, and she left me in their custody all the time. But I think her absence was basically her giving her rights away. I just wish she'd get saved to Jesus. That would be nice. I confronted my mom. It went over like a lead balloon, and I got disowned. I confronted her and my stepdad on the phone, and I got disowned for it. I'm so glad you guys are getting along in my chat room. That makes me so happy. It's okay. She was never around anyway, Method, so it wasn't any big love loss. Once I got disowned, it was kind of like, okay then. So, Doc Michael says my cousin called all of us Aryans, and my dad's sister and her husband were tied in extremely deep. I never got to confront them. I don't know, Doc Michael. That could be a blessing in disguise that you never got to confront them. I know if you confront someone who's not awake or still asleep, that it'll rattle them and turns out bad. Everything points to Project Paperclip breeding program transferred from Germany to the U.S. Agreed. You have to be friends and not enemies. You're right. Because you don't want me to get mad, then it's going to be a free-for-all. It'll be like Holly's chat room is the new UFCC. I'm teasing. I don't want that to happen, you know. Be careful going into Holly's chat room. You're liable to... You're liable to get wrenches thrown at you. The wrenches are throwing wrenches at each other. It's duck and cover. If you want to get beat up, go to Holly's chat.